expressions I never give that keep me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old. Keep me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old. I've been to Hollywood, I've been to Redwood, I crossed the ocean for a heart of gold. I've been in my mind, it's such a fine line that keeps me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old. Keeps me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old. Keep me searching for a heart of gold. You keep me searching and I'm growing old. Keep me searching for a heart of gold. I've been a miner for a heart of
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It's Frank Dicas dropping knowledge, coming at you once again. A little bit of a message, a little bit of knowledge, hitting you with the live on a Saturday morning. Shout out to everybody that's watching. Oakland, everything. Nice to see you. Shankopotamus, Little White Ferret, Frank. Nice to see all of you in the chat. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about loyalty. The phrase is, it is. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about loyalty. If you guys have questions, if you guys have comments, please go ahead and share. I want this to be a conversation. If anybody wants to jump on as well, we can also do that. Just want to do as much as I can today. I got some time. It's Saturday. I had a very, very, very long week. I've been working. Well, those of you that are in the Discord, you guys already know how I've been getting down. I have practically 3 jobs, and I do them all at once. So I have an 8-hour shift, and I have 2 other clients that I work 4 hours each for. So like that 8-hour shift is my constant. I do that, from beginning to end. I work my first 4 hours during the first half of that shift, and then the second 4 hours of the other client throughout the second part of that shift. Yeah, good morning, youngster. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. All right, cool. Nice to see you, and thanks for listening. Okay, my nickname is Shank, and from 916. Okay. That's cool. That's cool. That's right. Youngsters in the house. Youngster, thank you for your support, everybody. But yeah, I've been working a lot. But the good thing is that it's from the comfort of my own home. I do everything online. And that's good. God is good. I've been able to secure good jobs from my house without having to do much. But it all goes back to what we're looking up on the screen. And I just want to read it. Okay, it says loyalty is very expensive. Not everyone can afford it. It's true. It's true. Hey, what's going on, Ms. Yaya? Nice to see you. All right, cool. I know you're working. I seen you. I got my coffee here too. Ya me tomé mi cafecito. I just drank my second cup of coffee. Hey man, my white cup broke, man. My white cup broke. That's messed up, but that's because I always used it. That's my favorite cup. It broke, so I gotta go get me another cup. But yeah, that's kind of messed up, man. My kids got me that cup, so I gotta wait till Father's Day again so they can get me another one. But in the meantime, I'll probably buy one. I'll buy one. Hey, what's up, Fred? Getting ready to go to my grandma's. Hey, that's cool, man. God bless you, bro. Shout out to your grandma. Happy birthday to her, brother. Hey, everybody say happy birthday to Torta Pounder's grandmother. All right. She's interesting, Frank. Hey, what's up, man? Torta's grandma is having a birthday today. So, hey, God bless her, bro. My grandma's 102 years old, man. My grandma's 102 years old, which kind of gives me hope. Kind of gives me hope. Hey, what's up, Hangman? Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Nice to see you guys. Candy Avila, hey, thank you so much for your support, for being here. Yeah, Hangman's in the house. Everybody wish happy birthday to Torta Pounder's grandma. Okay, it's her birthday today. He's going out to see her. Good job, man. Yeah, you gotta be loyal. So, we're talking about loyalty. I want to talk about loyalty a little bit. I'll be on for some time. I'll be on. I got time. It's my day off. I got weekends off. Thank God for that. I'm in my yard. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and jump on screen real quick. Yeah, it's nice and sunny out here. I don't like StreamYard. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. I guess I have to pay for it. I'm not sure. Because I was watching my live from the other day and I see that it does cut off a lot. It cuts off, it freezes up. I don't like it. I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi. I don't think so because I got pretty good Wi-Fi. Maybe it's because I did it from my garage. I don't know. That might be it. Torta Pounder, what a lucky event. Yeah, man. Yeah, I wish I can go, man. If you got your grandmother alive, if you got your parents alive, you guys are blessed. I'm fortunate that both my parents are alive. They're still together. My grandmother from my mom's side of the family, she's 102. My other grandmother passed away. I never met I only met one of my great grandmothers, never met any of my grandfathers. But I'm glad that our generations have fixed that a little bit. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Hangman? Yeah, we got Frank on the screen and Frank in the chat. So take your pick. Yeah. Loyalty. So I think first and foremost, when we talk about loyalty, there are certain values that have to be present for you to be loyal, right? I think that the first person that you need to be loyal to is yourself. You cannot be loyal, you cannot be down for anyone else's program if you're first not loyal to yourself. That's what I believe. But I think it takes a long time for us to figure out how to be loyal to ourselves, especially when we grow up the way many of us I think did. Many of us that grew up in the neighborhoods, that grew up with maybe from broken homes, or maybe parents that were always out working. My parents, they've been together all of this time, but they were always out working. Most of the time we spent was at school. We hardly got to see our parents. We only saw them from like 6 p.m. to like around 8 p.m. because after that you got to do homework, eat dinner, go to sleep, right? And they're tired. That's how it was growing up for us. For my sisters and I, we had our parents at home. We spent time together when there was time to spend together, but day in day out we hardly saw each other. So it's very hard. It's hard sometimes to develop the type of character that you need to be loyal, right? I think loyalty is something that is taught. I think that it's something that you observe. I think it's something that you have to believe in and before you can even become loyal. But you have to be, first of all, loyal to yourself. And what do I mean by loyal to yourself? Well, you know, I just told you guys that I've been working really, really hard. I put in a lot of work. I put in a lot of hours, but I'm loyal to myself in that I don't let work consume me. When I have time, I work out. When I spend time with my kids deliberately. I think that's a very important word. You have to be deliberate in every one of your actions and decisions that you make. No, you cannot take on a role, you cannot take on something and be loyal to it without first being loyal to yourself, being loyal to those things that really matter, to those things that are important for life. And in my case, my children, my family, that's who I'm loyal to. I'm loyal to God, to my parents, to my family, and that makes me loyal to me because they cover me, I cover them, and we're all good. You got to be loyal. You got to be loyal to yourself. How are you loyal to yourself? Well, if you know that what you're eating, if you know that what you're doing, it can be hard on your health, you got to be loyal and stop eating whatever it is that's making you sick. And if you have to do exercising, you got to start doing exercise. If you have to drink water, drink water. If your job requires that you sit all day, get up, move around, and be loyal to you, be loyal to your health. You cannot put your health on the balance. You cannot put your health on the chopping block for work or for other people. You can't. If you're not healthy, if you're not strong, if you're not mentally there, you can't be there for anyone. If you can't be there for yourself, you can't be loyal to anyone else. Let me see. Baby love sustenance. There's no loyalty. It's all transactional. Okay, I believe it. I believe to some extent. But we're going to get to that because I think that loyalty works both ways. Let me see. But you're very right about self-loyalty. Yeah, I mean, first you have to be loyal to yourself. Okay, that's what I believe. I believe that you cannot stand 100% or 10 toes down on something if you're not loyal to you. Right. So nice to see you, baby love sustenance. This is the first time. I don't know that I've noticed you. Please subscribe. Go check out my videos. I'm somewhat of a troll, not too much of a troll. I try to spit as much knowledge as I can. Right. And when I have these lives, when I have certain videos, I try to put out as much of what I think, as much of what I've learned out there. But I also like to hear feedback, and I appreciate your comment. Very good. Loyalty to discipline, morals, goals. Yeah. For you, but for you, it's got to be beneficial to you. It's got to be something that you're loyal to yourself about. Look, but food is so delicious. I know. Trust me, Oakland. I know, and that's why hey, maybe this is the lesson you're gonna reach today. Maybe this live is for you. Maybe you could write some notes down. It all takes baby steps. You cannot be perfect. You have to take your time when it comes to that. Baby love, yeah, that's right. Self-preservation is key. That's right. Hey, nice to see you. Hi. So yeah, but how can you be loyal to yourself? So, Oakland, you said food is so delicious and I'm lazy. It's true. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about my mom. Okay, my mom has to watch her health. She takes medicine. She's an older lady, but she's been taking care of herself. She's a cancer survivor. Fuck cancer. Straight up and down. Fuck cancer. My mom's a cancer survivor. And because of all of these things that she's gone through, she's had to be very careful about how she eats. And my mom is the type that she's so disciplined, right? But she won't, like, if there's like cake or something, she can't eat too much of it, but she'll eat a little bit. And one thing that I've learned, Oakland, and one thing that I think will help you guys to understand is that you can eat anything as long as it's not excessive. You can do anything as long as it's not excessive. Once it becomes excessive, once it becomes damaging, that's where you have to be loyal to yourself and seek self-preservation. Okay? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, fuck cancer. Fuck cancer. That's right, little white parrot. Little white ferret. You know? Once it starts becoming a factor, then you have to stop. You have to stop. You have to be loyal to yourself. You cannot be good for anybody if you're not good to yourself. You cannot be good. You cannot stand for anyone, not even for yourself, if you're not taking care of yourself. I'm 49. I'll be 50 this year, and that's why I work out. Because I love to eat too. I eat anything. I'll eat tacos. I'll eat hamburgers. I'll eat all of that. I'll eat chips. I'll drink some soda, but I drink more water now. I cut down on a lot of sugary stuff. I cut down on bread. I work out. One day I work out. The next day I rest. I'm not, the type to work out 4 or 5 days a week straight. I'll work out one day, rest the next, work out one day. And that's what keeps me in shape. I've been able to stay in shape. I've been able to get back into shape doing it. Yeah, definitely fuck cancer, cancel cancer, fuck cancer. That's right. But all of these things happen when we're not moderate. We don't moderate ourselves. We got to be loyal to ourselves. We got to be loyal to our bodies, to our minds. Like, what are you ingesting? What are you absorbing? What are you watching? Frank T, have you been reading the Tao Te Ching? Sounds like it. No, but I mean, I read everything. I try to read up as much as I can. I'm an avid reader, not so much books now, but when I find good articles, I find something that does kind of maybe lean towards what I believe. I love to read it. I also read things that are against what I believe because it's always good to know what the other side thinks, right? Sometimes when we're having dialogues with people, when we're having conversations with people, we have to know that not everyone's going to be in agreement with what we think. Like, for example, this word, loyalty, right? Baby Love already told us she doesn't believe so much in loyalty. But I do. I do believe in loyalty, but I think it has to start first with you, right? You have to be loyal to yourself. If you're involved in damaging activities, like, for example, when I was out there on the street acting stupid, right? When I was out there on the street, I didn't eat well. I didn't sleep well. I got intoxicated. I was always smoked out. I would eat rubbish. I was, up and down on the streets. I wasn't taking care of myself. The good thing was that I was young. I was always a skinny kid. So, I didn't get fat or anything, but I know I was out of shape. I know that I was sometimes out of breath. And I remember sometimes I would get into fights, and if the fight lasted longer than a minute or two, I was already catching my breath because it was bad. Hey, what's up, brother? What's up, X-Rated? That's my little carnalito. Nice to see you, brother. Thanks for dropping by, bro. Thanks for stopping, man. Thanks for being here, bro. Yeah, that's right. X-Rated in the house. But yeah, I realized older as an older man, right after I had already gone through my trials and tribulations, that I could not leave things to chance. I could not be responsible about what I'm eating, about what I'm reading, about what I'm watching, about who I'm surrounding myself with. You have to choose the people that you surround yourself with, and you have to be loyal to yourself and not accept anybody through the door. Just be good to oneself, learn to love yourself. So yeah. I mean, the thing is that once you love yourself, you start developing standards, right? You start developing standards. It's like, okay, if I'm not allowing this in my life, why am I going to allow someone that does allow that into their life, into my circle? Like, we can be cool. Like, I can talk to you. You can be a homie. You can be a homegirl. We can say hi to each other. We could probably even party. But as far as me thinking that you and I can be close, if there are things that you are doing that I know are harmful to you and you don't care about them, that kind of goes against what I'm thinking. And I may care about you. I may be your buddy. I can give you advice, but I know that I can't trust you, because if you're not disciplined to yourself, if you're not taking care of yourself, how are you going to take care of a relationship with me? You're not. You're going to think about yourself. You're going to find the easy way out if you're not disciplined. And that just tells me that I can't trust you. I don't know if that makes sense. Always support. Yeah, I know, brother. I know you are. If when you start thinking about the circle of people that you're going to have around you, you need to realize that they better be on the same level or smarter. Like, I love to meet people that are more intelligent than me. I love it. It's refreshing to learn. It's refreshing to be able to ask and to say, wow, you know what? I didn't know that. That's new to me. I want to know more. I can't, I didn't know that existed. I didn't know that it could be thought of that way. I didn't know these things. You have to surround yourself with people that are either equally or smarter than you. If you want to grow, if you want to be someone in this life, if you want to have the authority over your mind and over your surroundings, you need to learn. You need to be a student every day. I'm a student every day. And I teach, but I learn. While I'm teaching, I'm learning. While I'm explaining, I'm learning. I try to absorb as much as I can from everyone, even all of you guys that are on the chat. Whenever you guys make comments, whenever you guys say things, I'm like, okay, well, that's an interesting point of view, right? It may be something that I didn't contemplate, but now I can see that how that can exist, right? But we have to be loyal to ourselves. No, actually, I'm a Scorpio. You'd be surprised. But I surpass all of that shit. Good morning, Ticas in chat. Hey, that's right, Taco. Say nice of you to be listening to me, bro. I know my voice is not the most delicate to your ears, my friend. I know it's not as luscious as your hair, my friend. Torta's got them luscious locks. Now you're the homie, Torta. Nice to see you, bro. Thanks for being here. You can't be loyal. You cannot be loyal if you're first not loyal to yourself. That's rule number one. If you're not ready to take care of yourself, if you're not ready to be disciplined, if you're not ready to do the things that you know you need to do, but you keep putting off, you keep procrastinating, and you're not disciplined, you will not be loyal to anyone else or to anything else. And I got to be real. Everyone wants to talk. I got to be real. I have to be real with you guys. That's right, Taco Stain. I don't trust people that aren't loyal to themselves. I don't trust people that don't like to take care of themselves. I don't like people that don't accept feedback. I don't like people that cannot accept when they're wrong. I stay away from people like that. And I've lost a lot of so-called friends because of things like that. Because at the end of the day, I want to surround myself with people that their yes is a yes, their no is a no. That if they say they're going to do something, they're going to do it. If they, and if they say they're not going to do something, they're not going to do it. And I need to be able to believe that, because that's where loyalty begins. There has to be trust, right? There has to be a trust level. In order for you to really truly demonstrate loyalty, there has to be like a consistency in your actions, in your words. You cannot be walking contradictions like the ones that we see and point out every day. Being part of the ET family is opening my eyes. Love you. Hey, you know what's up, Oakland? Hey, we try to kick facts as much as we can, right? We try to, put out there as much content as possible, and part of what we do when we point out all of these weirdos and these creeps on these spaces is demonstrate that that's the wrong way, but we also have to talk about what would then be the right way, right? Okay, if this is wrong, then what would be the right way? And that's where these lives come in. That's where these videos come in. That's where, when ET does his reaction videos to things and you hear his thoughts, or when I come and do my lives and you hear my thoughts, this is where we spit what we think will help you and will help the community that we're a part of, right? We're a part of a community that's trying to do greater things online on these spaces. And in order for us to be able to do that, we also have to achieve higher planes within ourselves. Oakland, it's why I'm here. I'm real people, not with phony characters. Yeah, that's right. So you got to be loyal, and yeah, that's true. Why for phony characters, you have to be loyal to your image, to your brand. I'm creating a brand here with my channel. Knowing everything I talk about, everything I say, everything I put out there is consistent. I'm not ashamed of anything I've ever put out there. I don't retract. And the times that I have retracted, it may have been because I thought too fast about something. I didn't give it too much thought and I just reacted. But at the end of the day, even that reaction was natural and it's based on who I am. Let me see. Can I be critical? You saying you don't like people doesn't go. No, not necessarily. And it's because there's a difference between liking and loving. And I'll explain that to you. But that's a good question. Do you believe in uplifting? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And that's what I was going to get to. So here's the thing. I believe that me doing what I'm doing now, this is more like of me doing it publicly, doing it on my channel. But I have close and personal conversations with people. And when I was really involved in the church, I did a lot of mentoring. And that's where all of this comes from too, like learning from people, and that's where I realized that people that You can talk to them and you can love them and you can pray for them. You can give them advice, but at the end of the day, each one has to take it and run with it. And sometimes I would see people not running with it. Sometimes I would see people just stuck, like expecting God to just rain down all the blessings and everything onto them. They wanted to live by faith, but not put in the work. And I think God chooses you when he sees that you're capable of putting in the work as well. Sometimes we're just expectant for the blessing. I'm sorry, I'm in my yard, so if you guys hear noises, I do apologize. Let me see if I can do the voice isolation thing here. Yeah, so it's voice isolated. No, I see. Right now, you're critical, and I don't take offense to it because I think we have to be critical, right? And I think that when you are a Christian, because you're living by these higher standards, if we take it as spiritual standards, those are even more important than what I'm talking about now. Because, if we take it that way, we're talking about eternal life, we're talking about service to others, we're talking about representing Christ here on earth. So how can you represent Christ and say that you're loyal to Christ if all of your actions are are totally opposite of it? I don't know if that makes sense, right? So I do believe in uplifting people, and that's exactly what this is all about. But you can't uplift people without putting in how can I say it, without raising a foundation. You cannot uplift the house, you cannot build a house if the foundation is non-existent, if it's not even there, or if the foundation is weak, right? If you're building upon false promises, if you're building upon false expectations and not putting in the work, don't expect to build anything. I don't know if that makes sense. There is no movement. You guys are all just Fernando's minions. Serious questions. What's stronger, your hate for Dubs or your love for Fernando? So I'm going to leave that there and I'm going to answer you. The fact that you believe that there is no movement, yet you come into the life to say it, lets me know that you understand that there is. So the fact that you don't believe in it has no bearing upon me. As far as being Fernando's minions, we're all friends. With Fernando, we're friends. If you call him Fernando, if you call him ET, call him what you want. We're all Fernando. I'm Fernando here too. So what's up? What's stronger? I don't hate Dubs, and I'm glad that you brought that up because we're going to speak on that a little bit. I don't hate Dubs. I don't. I hate what he represents. I hate the example that he puts out there. I hate that. That I hate. I don't hate the person. I hate what he's become as far as all of the actions that he puts out there. As far as my love for man, I love everyone that respects, everyone that thinks the way that I do, that proceeds and moves in the same direction and looking to uplift people. I love everybody. I might even love you, but you're just being a troll now. So, nice to see you. Some people do drag you down, though. Yeah, well, it's not even about dragging you down. It's just about you can't carry everybody. You can't. You can't carry everybody. Not everybody wants to do the work, so you can't carry it. That's why we talk about dead weight, right? You can't carry dead weight. There comes a point in which dead weight does kind of drag you down. So, hey, man, up to this point, I've helped you, but if you can't move past this, it's got to be on you. You have to do that work. You know what I mean? Here's your answer. Okay, let me see. Hate for. Hey, what's up, Barry Wood? Nice to see you, man. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Do you love Dubs or hate Fernando more? Yeah, you can ask all of that. All right, right. On my way to work, listening to drop. Hey, nice to see. Good, good. So yeah. So we got clear examples of people that are not loyal to themselves, right? And we could, I'm, let's speak on Dubs since you brought it up. Let's speak on Dubs. Let's speak on it, right? What is it that? Hey, yeah, have a good day, Oakland. What is it that I point out in Dubs? Okay, what is it that I don't like about Dubs? Okay, so I know that a lot of people, because of this whole like imaginary YouTube yarda bullshit that I am not a part of and I don't condone. But any other comments? So what? See, now you're moving the. You don't know what to say now, Allah. You don't know what to say. You see, you can't stick to a certain point. You can't stick to a subject. You're looking for a way to troll, and that's funny because you're exactly the type of person that I'm singling out. You guys are fake. You guys are phonies. You can't even stick to one topic. I already answered your topic. Now you can't stick to it. You can't debate it. So now you're moving the goalposts. You see, you're not even loyal to your thoughts and to your narratives, bro. I can't take you seriously. You think you coming onto the chat and putting these things is moving something? All it does is it demonstrates just how right I am in pointing you bitches out. Straight up. Thanks for the engagement. All right, have a good one. Take care. Thank you for dropping by. Please give me a like if you can. All right, very good. Yes, you guys are infatuated with Dubs, but Fernando's cashing in. Yeah, all right, whatever, bro. You do you. But let's talk about Dubs. Let's talk about Gunner. Let's talk about these weirdos, man. They're not loyal to themselves. You know, it is alarming. And I'm going to say it. It's alarming to me. I don't feel any remorse. I don't feel any sympathy for what Dubs is going through. I don't, because he brought this all upon himself. But it is alarming to see a man drink and get drunk every single day. That is an alcohol problem. You cannot say that you're a man that stands on business if you're chained up to an addiction. I'm sorry, but you can't. You can't do it. You fake crying online claims about the kids or not? Nah, man, you're stupid. I really do care about kids because I'm a father. I've been a teacher of kids. When I did pastoral work with the church, I dealt with kids with a lot of problems that came from abuse. It rings close to home to me. That's why it matters to me. The fact that you don't understand it, once again, demonstrates who you are, bro. You're just all you're doing is just exposing how immature you are, my friend. That's all you see. Actually, I'm infatuated with. All right. So, anyways, yeah, they're not loyal to themselves. They're not loyal to their health, mental health, or physical health. They've been saying for over a month now that they're going to work out. They're not going to work out. You're not going to work out if you spent the night drinking and you wake up with a hangover. You're not going to have the energy to go out there and work out, do exercise. You're not going to have the energy. You're not going to do it because it's physically you're not prepared, mentally you're not prepared to go out there to start working out. I had to think about what I needed to do to start working out, and I had to do a lot of things. I had to remove a lot of things. I had to program myself to be able to work out one day, yes, and one day, no. But I'm disciplined, but I've learned to be disciplined. I've learned how to set things apart. I've learned how to be loyal to myself. Therefore, I can speak on these things because you guys have seen it. I don't post it every day. Like, I don't post me working out every time I work out, but when I do and I post it, you guys can see that there is some work being done. I'm actually showing some gains, which some people are obsessed about, just like Allah. Look, it says, I'm pointing out fact. No. Those aren't facts, Allah. So you guys are confused. Your strong opinions do not mean they are facts. You have opinion. You're an opinionated troll. But your trollish opinions do not constitute facts. You wish they were facts, but they're not. And you don't even wish they were facts. You just speak whatever you want to speak just to gain points and get your attaboy somewhere else. I don't know who is giving you that attaboy, Allah, attaboy. I don't know who it is, but that's who you're loyal to. And you have no shame in your game and looking like an idiot and looking like a fool coming into someone's live just talking bullshit. Like, that's who you are. That's who you are. That's who you are right now. That's who you put yourself. You think people are going to see what you're writing and say, wow, Allah's a cool dude. Let me go kick it with that guy. Man, nobody wants to kick it with you, bro. That's right. We are loyal. That's right. So, yeah. So, You see these guys come on live, they don't care about themselves, they don't care about anybody. It's not an opinion, it's an observation. You need to work out better. All right, well, show me how. And see, you see how obsessed they are. They got to make profiles with my picture on it, with my name on it. That's how obsessed you are. I understand it. You're a fan. You're a fan. It's okay. Yeah. I'm having a conversation. No, 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 no. See, a conversation is one thing, bro. When you're making like generalizations that aren't very smart or are not educated, then to me you're trolling. That's what it is. You came in trolling. So don't expect me to have a serious conversation with you if you're a troll, bro. I'm not. I don't respect any of you guys. All right. But anyways, so yeah, they're not going to work out. If you get drunk every single night, you're not going to work out. You're not. You're not. Straight up. You're not going to do it. You know, you're not going to eat right. So that just goes to show that these guys cannot be loyal. If you can't be loyal to yourself, you cannot be loyal to anybody. Straight up. If you're not loyal to your health, if you're not loyal to the things that you need to do for yourself, if you can't even be disciplined about those things, like how can anyone expect you to be loyal to anything or to stand up for anything if you can't even stand up for your own health? It doesn't make sense. Here to put your shit out. What? You're weird, dude. Something bit me. Anyways, now it does take a lot of work to be loyal to yourself. It takes a lot of work. It takes sacrifices. It takes sitting down and seeing and stripping things down. Like, what is it that I need to stop doing that's harmful to me? Right? What is it that I'm doing that is causing issues? Maybe not just with me, but with those around me, those that I claim to love. Right? We all claim to love people. Right? We all can claim that we have people in our families, people in our lives that we love. Loyalty above all. That's right. That's right. Tomorrow's not promised, bro. But while we're here, who are we? Right? Who are we? What do we stand for? What do we represent? So I cannot be loyal to my family. I cannot be loyal to my kids if my addiction is stronger than my love for them. I cannot be loyal to my family or my kids if I have something that makes me waste money, like an addiction or a gambling problem or just being out there acting the fool and not making money. I can't come home and say, hey, I love you guys and expect them to love me back if all I'm demonstrating is disdain for responsibility. No, if you disdain responsibility, if you disdain sacrificing things for the betterment of everyone that's in your team, in your family, then you're not loyal and you can't be trusted. Frank, that's what she put. Okay, well, hey man, she writes in her language, so it's also her translator. I don't care. Yeah, whatever, bro. Read carefully. I'm not reading all your comments. I don't care about you. Yeah, I know it messes up my videos, man. Autocorrect messes up my videos all the time. Like when I make it, when I use big head chicas, read carefully. Hey, what's up, Shark City Girl? Nice to see you in here. Sharks in the comment section. Sharks in the comment section. We got Shark City Girl in here. Thank goodness for Shark City Girl. You cannot be loyal if you're not loyal to yourself, if you're not loyal to your body, if you're not loyal to your mind, if you're not loyal to your spirit, you will have a hard time being loyal to anyone else. Now once I got all of that out of the way, right, when I understood what I needed to do for my benefit, for my personal benefit, for my mind to be right, for my spirit to be right, for my body to be right. I'm not never going to be the biggest dude because I'm not a big dude, but as long as I'm in shape, I feel good. As long as I'm quick on my feet and as long as I can get in a couple before you can get them in on me, I'm straight. And now that I know that I'm straight, then I could be loyal to other people. First, my family. No, I'm going to be loyal to my family first and foremost. My kids, my wife, my parents, my sisters, my nephews. That's who I'm going to be loyal to. And I'm willing, and God can hear me, and God is my witness. I'll put down my life for any of them. I wouldn't think twice about it. I'll use everything within my power, everything within my mind, my heart, my spirit, to always stand and protect and defend those that I love. I'm loyal, I think, to a fault, right? Sometimes I've been more loyal to friends than they've been to me, but I don't walk away from that feeling bad. I chalk it up to immaturity. I chalk it up to what we talked about. Some of these people were not loyal even to themselves. If you're not loyal to yourself, you cannot be loyal to anybody else. It's the truth. But you have to demonstrate it. This is something that's ongoing. This is not something that you only show once or twice. It's every single time. Every single day, you must demonstrate your loyalty to who you are, to those that you love, and to what you represent. If you can't do that, how can you be trusted? Even on your bad days, that's when your loyalty matters the most. Right? That's when your loyalty matters the most. On your worst days. Those days in which you're not feeling it, those days in which you're doubting, those days in which you get up not feeling good. Maybe you had a bad experience with someone that you love, someone that you've been loyal to, and you had a bad experience and you had a bad moment and you had an argument. We all have arguments in family, right? It's not always, a bed of roses. It's not always perfect. We'll have disagreement with our loved ones. We're going to have disagreement with the people that we get along with. It's going to happen. And sometimes those disagreements can test your loyalty, can test the relationship. But if you stand with honor, with respect, and with love, anything can be conquered, even misunderstandings. No, I'm a firm believer in that. And that's why I've gotten ahead in life, and that's why I continue to do what I do. You cannot be loyal. So when you see, for example, look at Gunner. Gunner couldn't even be loyal to his family, right? No loyalty whatsoever. Scammed the fuck out of him, out of his subscribers. He scammed them all. And he don't care. He don't give a fuck. Now he's hiding. He's not loyal. If he was a real man, if Gunner was a real man and he wanted to stand on business and he wanted to demonstrate how real he was, he would have come out and said, you know what, to all the people that I scammed, I apologize. I shouldn't have done it. And if I owe you money, I may not be able to pay you right now, but let me know. Now I'll figure it out and I'll give you guys all your money back. He would have taken accountability. But he's not loyal. And then you got people like these trolls who come over and provide cover for these guys. Shameless Skittles. Yeah, shameless. To then come out with a video talking about, look where I'm at. I'm on my boat. Ha, ha, ha. Fuck all of you with all your money. Oh, man, come on. And people still have the indecency to support that shit. I'm never going to support none of that. And you're never going to see me do none of that. Because I'm loyal to my word. I'm loyal to what I'm about. And then as a parent, how you move is a lesson to your kids. Imagine his kids, because he's got kids. Supposedly he's got full custody of them, right? We hear that all the time from fucking Joker. He's got full custody of his kids. His kids are watching and are knowing that he's scamming his followers. And they're, I don't know how that's going to affect them. I don't know what that's going to turn them into. People forget that once you have children, you're unleashing these people. Like, these little people will become adults and you're unleashing them into society. What are you unleashing into society? Grifters? Scammers? Disloyal trolls? That's what's crazy about all of this. See, and that's why it affects society. So, when all of these guys come on talking about, oh, this is just YouTube, it's just entertainment. No, it's not. A lot of things are affected. A lot of people are influenced by what they see, what they do, and they provide cover for it. And they make it acceptable, even though it's not acceptable, just because it's YouTube, man. Fuck that. Bro's house. That's not your name. That's not your name, though. That's not your image. That's my image. But I know you love me. I know you love me. Leonard Skinner, Baba AK is running and hiding. Yep. He abused his daughter. I don't know about that, bro. And if there is paperwork, that would be interesting. I don't know about that one. So I'm not going to, I can't speak on that because I don't know. Okay. I don't know about that. I'm not going to put, even though I dislike Gunner, even though I dislike Dubs, I'm not going to say he did anything unless there's proof out there, and I'm not going to be the one out digging for proof. I don't care about paperwork. I never came in on that time. Like, I did not come into this thinking about whose paperwork and this. No, I mean, it comes out eventually. People get discovered, they get exposed. That's them. I'm not going to be the one doing that. But if through that paperwork it demonstrates that you are not who you say you are, that's a whole different thing, right? That's a whole different thing. I don't care what you did behind bars, whatever you had to do to survive, and if for whatever reason you needed to get out of a general population, I don't know what those reasons could be, but I'm sure that there might be some good reasons in which someone decides not to be in general population. Maybe they're too rich, too popular, I don't know, too crazy, right? Too rebellious. Maybe those are good reasons. There's a lot of bad reasons too, right? That's why a lot of people have a problem with the whole like concept of 50-50 yards and S&Y yards. And I understand why there would be an issue with it. But I also know that some people were just pencil whipped. Some people got politicked against. And some people just didn't want to be around others because, man, I'm going to do my time. I'm going to do it how I want to do it. And if you had the balls and you had the gall to go against the program, hey, more power to you. But we know that in the case of Joker, that was not the case, right? We know that he took down a lot of people. So he was never loyal. That's why I cannot... his followers and all of these women that are out here protecting Dubs, they need to know that he will not have any problem throwing them under the bus if it's convenient to him or if it makes him escape accountability. Right? Let's see, he abused his daughter. I saw paperwork. No, this was reason. Okay, well, if you can find that, bro, and you can share it with me or send me a link to it, I'll look into it, bro, because if that's the case, then that's a whole different problem. And then I would have a serious issue with that guy because unfortunately for them, we're real about this shit. Fuck that. Fuck all you chomos. Fuck all of you weirdos out there that are abusing kids. Man, fuck all that. Fuck you, Marv 16. Fuck all of you guys. Yeah. It's children have it bad enough as it is sometimes. Like we see it. Like, I put a video about Joker going on the virtual trip, and that girl that comes out in that video with her children, with her guy, and then she was out acting stupid this morning on the live with Joker. That's neglect. Taking your kid to go, hit up walls, that's neglect. There's not always abuse that affects people. Neglect affects people too. And she demonstrates that she's not loyal to her children. You have to be loyal. Loyalty to me is an important value. And it's a value that I hold to high esteem, and it's something that I am. There are times in which your loyalty will make you bite your tongue, you know, and you will find the right time to have the conversation with the person, but sometimes you have to bite your tongue. Sometimes loyalty is riding with someone and defending them, even though you know they're wrong, but publicly you will ride with them, but in the background you will have that conversation. Because if you're loyal, you have to be honest. If I'm loyal to you and I think that you're doing something that's not correct, because of my loyalty, because of my standards, I will talk to you. And I will tell you, hey, listen, man, I love you. I respect you. You know, I'm loyal to you, but you got to stop doing this. And if you continue doing it, I'm going to have to step away. Like, I'll help you, whatever you need. I'll help you to be able to move past this. But if you see that even after talking to someone, even after mentioning it, even after offering help, even after putting yourself out there for these people, they don't do the work that they need to do themselves, I can't be loyal to you. We can't be cool. I'm not going to talk shit to you. I'm not going to talk shit about you. But I'm definitely not going to be, or you're not going to be in my circle. I can link you with you the what's put okay. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. If there's a channel out there, man, let me know. Hey, what's up, Mateo? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Thanks for the support, guys. Yes, little white ferret. Nice to see you, Missy Mateo. You know, peace out. All right, bro. Talk to you soon. And if you have that link, shoot it to me. Yeah, so these guys aren't loyal. They cannot be loyal. And if you look at the people that surround them, they're not loyal either. They're not even loyal to their children. Hey, what's up, Big Nick? Nice to see you, man. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. Loyalty has to be one of our top priorities. But once again, you cannot be loyal, or people will not be loyal to something if they're not at first loyal to themselves. Okay. Now, it's hard. And, you know, when we're talking about relationships, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes we aren't loyal in relationships because what we thought was love was really lust, right? We become infatuated sometimes with the wrong person without getting to know them. And once we start a serious relationship, we start to realize that maybe that person and I are not aligned. And that will disrupt any attempts of being loyal to each other. Hey, nice to see you, the PD. The PD. Hey, thank you, man. Good morning to you, too. That's right. Yeah. Relationships are difficult because a lot of times we don't take the work to find out who we're getting involved in. We go a lot of times based on attraction, based on how we feel, right? Or sometimes we meet someone, and during the time that we're with them, they make us feel a certain way. They make us feel good. You know, it releases chemicals within the body. We feel attraction, whatever. And sometimes in that state of, what can I call it, of infatuation, we may not see some of the signs that if we were being loyal to ourselves would stop us. We would see the red flags and we'd be like, maybe this is not the person I need to get into a relationship with. But once again, when we neglect our standards, when we neglect our loyalty to ourselves, sometimes we let the wrong people into our lives, into our friend group. It happens. It happens all the time. Central Cali certified, Brandon, Juanita, good. Okay, cool. Had to take that. All right. Well, I'll check them out anyways. I'll deep dive. Maybe I can, we can figure it out, see what's going on. But yeah. So yeah, I remember when I was growing up, I was very loyal to my friends, and some of them were very loyal to me, not all of them. Right? And those of us that were really, really close, it was like 3 or 4 of us. right? And we used to do everything together. And when we had arguments, and sometimes we would fight, like we would get down with each other, but because we had that love, we had that respect. It was always like a handshake. All right, fool, ya estuvo. We got down, we did it, we got it off our chest, and we continue moving forward because we were like that. We were all of the same mind. We all liked the same things. We all enjoyed the same things. We all talked about and did the same things. So it was very easy as a group of homies of of camaraderie to be loyal to each other. But then some of these guys had wives, had children already, and then you see how they treat their children, and I would have a problem with it. Like, how could you be so loyal to me as your friend? You can be loyal to the group, but here your kids are crying, want something, and you won't even give them $1. Or you can see that your wife is walking back from the supermarket, carrying everything with the kids. You have a car, but you'd rather chill here drinking with us and smoking out with us instead of getting in your car, going to pick her up, and then bring her back and then just chill again. These are all of the things that I was seeing when I was younger, and I started telling myself, if I ever have children, I'm not going to neglect them. I'm going to be in their life, even if their mother and I are no longer together, because that was a big possibility, right? Thank God it never happened that way. But I told myself from a very young age, I'm going to be loyal to my children. And I didn't even have kids. I was like 16, 17 at the time. But a lot of my friends already had kids, and I saw how they treated them. I saw how they neglected them, and that was not going to be me, because I grew up in a household where both of my parents were there. So I knew that it was possible to be a good father, right? So I did not really like when my friends were bad dads, and I learned from that. I learned not to be that way. But these are all things that I started thinking about when I was young, just watching people, just looking at people, and realizing that that's not what I wanted to be. Our sets of values, our sets of standards will determine how loyal we are, first to ourselves and then to other people. Right? If we don't have standards, if we can be easily swayed by anything, if we're double-minded in what we do, loyalty is not going to be very high on our list of who we are, of what our characteristics that make us who we are. Okay. The channel has got someone runner still married to. She talks about how much he lies, and okay. All right, cool. Hey, what's up, Roxanne? Nice to see you. Yeah, I just had some black too. As a matter of fact, my cup is still here. I had 2 cups of coffee before I jumped on. I went to a supermarket earlier just to buy some things. My wife, she's a great cook. She's somewhat of a chef, so I go and buy ingredients for her to make some bomb ass food later for lunch. Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, so you can't expect people like Dubs, people like Gunner to be loyal. There is no way that they're going to be loyal. They're not loyal to themselves. They're not loyal to their followers. They're not loyal to their subscribers. They're not loyal to their family. They're not loyal. You cannot expect loyalty from people that aren't loyal to themselves. Dubs is destroying his mind and his body daily on live for all of us to see. That I cannot understand how a man could allow himself to debase himself the way he does. I can't. I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. Okay. That's right. And then you see the people surrounding them, right? We got that tagger, that girl that's with the tagger. We're talking about neglect. I mean, she's neglecting her child. Like, I could not be down with people like this. Like, how could you be down with people that neglect their children? If they're down enough to neglect their children, the product of their love, the product of their bodies, they carry their genes. This is a reproduction of who you are. If you cannot be loyal to your children, if you cannot protect them, if you are negligent of your children, I can't trust you. You can't be my friend. You cannot be my friend. Hey Helga, what you missed? Well, I'm talking about loyalty. It's been an hour already, so I have discussed a few things about loyalty. That's what we're talking about. But now I'm also discussing loyalty in the sense of for example, Dubs and Gunner that aren't even loyal to themselves. They're not loyal to their bodies or their minds. They're not loyal to their families. They're not loyal to their subscribers. How could they be loyal to anything? And then we have these people that are negligent to their children, taking them out to tag and doing all of these things. How can we expect them to be loyal to the team or to the group? One of the things that I remember when I went for a job, I worked at that job for about a year and a half, and it was a collections job. It was a credit job. It was trying to collect off of credit. It's somewhat like sales, right? Because you do get commissions. Like if you're able to get people to pay what they owe, you get commissions off of that. So, I did that for some time, and then it started bothering me. I didn't really like it just because a lot of the conversations that I had with people over the phone were sometimes heart wrenching. Maybe some people added too much tapatio to their tacos, like that idiot fucking Gunner. I'm pretty sure that a lot of them lied, but some of them didn't, and some of them would send you paperwork like, "Look, I haven't been able to pay my card because I've been going through this health crisis," right? And they would send like their medical statements, and it was crazy because you would need that to be able to get them off the hook. And I remember I'm like, man, there are people that are just downright assholes, but then there are people that are really going through it, that are really going through situations in which they can't pay their bills, or they can't do it because they're sick, and they don't want to be sick, you know so I understand if you're sick and that ailment keeps you from doing everything that you want to do, and keeps you from your responsibilities. But these guys are actively putting themselves in harm's way, drinking every day and just acting stupid, acting reckless online, putting themselves and their families in danger. But they blame us. They blame us for pointing it out. Man, fuck all that. In my experience, a lot of people, loyalty is sadly only just a word. Yeah, because you have to be loyal to yourself first, Helga, before you can be loyal to anything. Hey, what's up, Katie Frizzle? Nice to see you. I was going to stay on your live yesterday a little longer, but man, I was tired. I fell asleep, so I'm sorry about that. But, next time you go live, I'm gonna rock with you. I'm going to rock with you. What's up? What's up? That's right. That's right. Hey, what's up, Ghost? What up, Doe? What up, Doe? What up, Doe? Yeah. You cannot say that you're loyal if you're not loyal to yourself. You cannot say that you're loyal if you do not take care of your children. If you have children and you don't take care of them, and you're always looking for ways to not fulfill your responsibilities with your children, if you try to blame your baby's mama or your baby's daddy for not being there for your children, you're a fraud. Straight up. You're a fraud. There should be no reason for you not to be there for your children 100%, unless the court mandated it, right? But if the court mandated for you not to be around your children, then you must be doing some crazy shit for them to mandate you not to be around your children. Oh, I was just messing around, Frankie. Okay. Hey, what's up, Ghost? What's up, man? Yeah, so riding around with your children or with your child in the backseat while you're tagging tells me that you're not loyal to your family. Straight up. I don't care what you say. I've always thought that if I can't take care of my kids, then there's something wrong with me. If I can't take care of my kids, I'm the one that's failing. My kids did not ask to come into this world. They came into this world because we decided to have children. So therefore, I'm going to take care of them. And I still take care of them. And they're both adults now. But I still take care of my children. I'm loyal to my family. I'm loyal to the movement. But the only reason and the only way that I can be loyal to what we do is I'm loyal first and foremost to myself, to my standards, to my values, to my principles. That's who I'm loyal to. I'm not beholden to the rules that these trolls try to place over me, man. You guys are not men. You guys are not men to try to tell a real man how to act, how to behave. I'm a real man, straight up. I'm a real man that does real man things. I work. I'm a professional at what I do. Everything I do it to the utmost. And if I can do it better and learn a better way, I'm gonna learn it and I'm gonna adapt it. And you see that every day. You see it in my production of the videos that I put out. You see it in my lives. I always try to do it better every single time. I was so angry seeing that so-called mother acting like that. Yeah, I put out that video, right? And where you guys saw that they were out there tagging. And then yesterday when we saw them, a little kid coughing late in the early morning, coughing, and this chick is vaping in the room. Like, how can you do that to your child? For what? On account of what? To impress people on YouTube? Man, come on. It's crazy. It's crazy. That was crazy last night. Don't see something like that too often. Yeah, what? But you know what though, Katie? It's very fucking common. Maybe we don't see it too much, like live. We don't see it live. We don't see it actually happening on the screen on YouTube. But it's very common. Like people are negligent of their children all the time. People that say, "Well, I work." Like I love my parents. I know they didn't want to be negligent of us, but I think to an extent they were, because they always fell back on the fact that, hey, we work, we do all of these things to put money, put money out there, to put food on the table, to put a roof over your head, which I was always grateful for. But that did not excuse the fact that sometimes I just wanted to spend time with my family. I want to spend time with my mom and my dad, and sometimes they didn't have the time. They were too tired. That's the form of negligence. That's why your work-life balance has to be in order for you to give the love and the nurturing that your children deserve. If you cannot have that, don't bring kids into the world. Straight up. And if you already have them, then you better start doing what you need to do to find that work-life balance that they deserve. Because it's not about you anymore. That's where you demonstrate loyalty. That's how I started this whole thing off. Sometimes loyalty requires sacrifices. Sometimes loyalty requires that you learn. It also requires for you to unlearn a lot of things and to make changes. And that requires you to first be loyal to yourself. You have to believe that these things that I need to do to be a better father, to be a better parent, to be a better husband, to be a better whatever, are worth it. And if I believe it and I'm going to do what I need to do, I'm going to discipline myself to reach that level. Yeah. Last night was a trip that I was unfortunately in. Yeah, bro. I mean, I always say that I learned a lot of these things, a lot of the things that I learn from YouTube or from being online. Sometimes I learn against my will, bro. Straight up. Like sometimes you just learn them against your will. But at the end of the day, it is important that we see and that we highlight how this behavior is unbecoming of adults and parents. And then you got all of these guys that want to come here and school me and school ET and school us. Oh, you guys are doing this. You guys are obsessed. No. What we are is we're adults. We're adults that lived through a certain lifestyle, that were fortunate enough to have survived. Some of us came from the same type of backgrounds, gangs, crews, crime, addiction, abuse, being out on the street, partying, getting locked up. A lot of us have come from that. And that's why we all get along. And that's why we see a lot of things eye to eye, because we understand it. But there's a difference between romanticizing that past and being able to say, yeah, I was in that. I remember that. But now I'm trying to be a better person. And I think that that's the difference that we make. The difference on our channel, the difference on Exposed Tube, and what we're trying to do is we're trying to demonstrate that flip side. Yes, we lived through that, but now we're different people and we're standing up for what's good in the world. And we're going to be loyal to that. Hopefully she wakes today. It's going to be a hard one. I think it's going to be, sometimes people need to hit rock bottom, Katie. And I know I had to. You know, and that's not wishing harm on anyone. I'm not wishing that on anyone, but sometimes people need to hit rock bottom before they finally realize that they're fucking up. Look at Joker, look at Gunner. Those fools have been locked up for years and they still haven't hit rock bottom. What is rock bottom for those guys? That's kind of scary. If being convicted and sentenced to life in prison or long years in prison, if that's not hitting rock bottom, if that did not have the power to change you, what will it take? Right? And I'm not wishing anything bad on these people. These are just logical takes. Once again, if you're not loyal to yourself, to your body, to your mind, and to your spirit, you cannot be loyal to anyone. We're watching the daily destruction of Dubs. And Skittles is probably destroying himself. Well, he's been offline, so you know. That's why you have to be careful who you have children with. Exactly. And that's why I said, you know, a lot of times we get caught up in the infatuation, you know, in the attraction. I like how she smells. I like how she feels. I like how she kisses. I like how we make love. I mean, a lot of times we're making love to people that we don't even love. We're just infatuated with. And then, ta-ta, we have children. And now we're stuck because we got to be there for the children. But now you've got ties that will last a lifetime, you know? And maybe that was not what you were looking for. I'm glad in a way I won't have kids. Sorry. Well, yeah, I mean, I know. I think everything is a blessing and everything, you know, some things are a blessing and a curse. I think children are that way. You know, children can be a blessing, but it can be a curse. But I think once again, it depends on what kind of parent you are. You know, kids do not raise themselves, and kids will pick up what you do, not what you say. Straight up. They're going to see what you do, and they're going to act the way you do. Liver failure? Man, I hope not. But I don't know if you guys saw yesterday that Dubs went off, like he got up from out of his chair and you heard him like making some weird ass noises. I think he was like stretching his back. He's like, man, my back is killing me. But that is a sign of him deteriorating. He's not going to want to accept it. He's not going to hear it, especially coming from me. But I'm telling you right now, Dubs, if you watch this, if you ever come across this, you, my friend, are getting into some serious health problems now because you're an old ass inactive man. You don't do any workouts. You don't move around. You're stuck in your apartment and you're drinking yourself to death. I have kids, and for me, it was even so hard to let them sleep in their own bed. I remember when my kids were babies, I would go in there and just make sure that they were breathing. I would put my finger like by their nose to make sure they were breathing straight up. Like I would wake up in the middle of the night just to see if my kids were okay. You know, the twins have no mirrors. No, they don't, bro. They don't have mirrors. They don't see. My baby's never left my bed. His ego will never stop. Yeah. They have one day, right? And I hated every step of it knowing I was right. They have to one day. Yeah, they have to. Ego is the biggest killer. Ego and pride. Ego and pride. Ego and pride. You know, ego and pride. And that's what I'm saying. Ego and pride will keep you from being loyal. Straight up. Like you can have ego and you can have pride, but sometimes pride will keep you from learning your lesson because you're too proud. You're too proud to admit you're wrong. You're too proud to admit you need help. You're too proud that you need to make the changes that you need to make, and that will eventually kill you. You know? Yeah, so loyalty. loyalty affects all of these things. And, I get questioned a lot, and I get attacked a lot ever since I made my loyalty to the revolution, to the explosive movement public. I've been, that's where it all started. And I really don't care because I am a man that stands on principle all the time. I do not back away. I always put my convictions to the test. I may believe something very strongly, but that does not mean that I won't question it. I have to question it because that is something that I believe in. And if what I believe in is faulty or turns out to be false, then I need to know that so I can find the truth. And at this moment, up until now, the movement that we've been in, that we're all a part of, that you guys are a part of as well, has been true, has been real. No, we've been doing what we said we are going to do. We continue doing it. We've been um, consistent in it, and consistency is a sign of trust. Like, I can trust you because you're consistent, and if I can trust you and I can trust how you move, then that means you're loyal. You're loyal to me, and I'm going to be loyal to you. Yeah, some of them guys sure do love to hate on us. But you know what it is because for them, a lot of what we stand for is alien to them. It's alien to them to see us get along the way we do. It's alien to them to see that we actually have a lot of things in common. It's alien to them to see that we stand 10 toes down on those things that we care about because we're loyal. Loyalty is alien to them. If you think about how fucking Ms. Nobody got into this whole thing, no, his whole thing was going against exposed to. Like, his betrayal was his move to have a channel. That's what he did on the comic book side. Then he did it over here. So he's not a loyal person. He's not loyal to himself. Look at him. You think that guy works out? You think that guy eats healthy? I don't think so. So if you can't be loyal to you and to your health, once again, that's what I started off with. It's very hard to demonstrate loyalty to something else. It's very hard. No, I truly believe that. I truly believe that if you do not know how to be disciplined for you, for yourself, if you cannot make the changes you need to better yourself, if you cannot sacrifice those things that you know are bad for you in order to be healthy, in order to take care of yourself, then I'm not going to trust you. Oh, so I was talking about the collections. It slipped my mind. So I work for collections, but one of the requirements for you to work for collections, and that in that company in particular, because it's a big company, was that your credit score was good. Because their thought process was, how are you going to collect from people righteously if you owe and if your credit is shot? Which to me was a great filter to hire people. It's like, how are you going to be a part of my company? We deal in collecting debt if you have debt and you don't want to pay off your company. Right? It's like, how are you going to be faithful to me? You might side with those people that aren't paying my company. You're going to understand them. You're going to understand that why they don't want to pay. And I can't afford to have people that can side with who owes us. That's what those filters are for. The comic book guy has a big crash. Yeah. I'm just waiting. I'm wondering if people can be loyal to lying. That's the only reason. I think lying is easy, Helga. I don't think you have to be loyal to lying, but you have to be loyal to be destructive. That you can be. Fernando Gaston and Frank Lafaux. All right, whatever. Cubo Hangman. What's up? What's up? Helga, they loyal to money only and will turn on each other. Yeah. But even being loyal to money is not being loyal. Because if money is what keeps you loyal, that's more of a self-gratification type thing than truly being about something and having standards. Right? That's right. Hey, man. Okay, very good. Um, Loyalty. One of the things I said, and I just want to repeat, is that sometimes loyalty will have you bite your tongue, and maybe um, have your observations on people and talk to them on the side. I'd rather confront people. I'd rather confront people and tell them what I think than to act as though something doesn't bother me, or I don't think something, or I just let things go. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in letting things go, because I believe if you let things go, they tend to fester up, they tend to bubble up, and eventually, if you ever come to a point where you're just fed up with someone, it's all going to come out and it's all going to explode, and I don't think that's healthy either. $1 million moves, yeah, yeah. You love Helga? Hell yeah, we love Helga. Hey, what's up, JM805? Hey, thanks for tapping in, bro. Thanks for tapping in. Thank you guys. If you can hit the like, I would really appreciate it. You cannot be loyal if you're not loyal to yourself. You cannot be loyal if you're not loyal to your children. If you're not loyal to your children, if you neglect your children, if you can treat your children worse than you treat your friends, you're not loyal. There's something wrong with you. If you're willing to put your child at risk just to be on YouTube and TikTok fucking talking shit and acting the fool, then I would, if you were my friend, I would have to reevaluate that friendship. But I will tell you about it first. Like, hey, you know what? I don't like the way you're doing that, man. You're making yourself look stupid. Money isn't the best thing to build character. Yeah, it's not. Never. Money is the least. Money should be a consequence, right? Prosperity should be a consequence of how you live. That's how I see it. Bubble up like runners. Yeah, exactly. Things, it will eventually bubble up. Yeah, I concur. Yeah, money is investing to, but I think money, I think prosperity, I think good health, I think love, good friends, and all of that. A good job comes as a consequence of being loyal to yourself, of setting high standards for yourself, of not dumbing it down, of being about it all the time. One thing that whenever I walk into a situation where it's like a job interview or whatever, I know I'm going to get the job. I walk into that job interview as though I have the job already. Straight up. I do not go in there nervous. I never get nervous in a job interview or any type of situation in which I have to like demonstrate that I know something in order to get something. I never get nervous about things like that, because I've learned to value what I know. I've learned to sell myself, the best way possible. Money should be the outcome. That's correct. Money should be the outcome. It should be a symptom, not the cause. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Love is life. Yeah, love is life, man. Love is life. That's right. But like loyalty, love is a word a lot. Yeah, yeah. Like facts, Helga. Facts is another word that people use too loosely. They think that their strong opinion is a fact. Your strong opinions are just that. They're your strong opinions. It does not make them fact. That's why you don't hear me say facts. That's facts. You don't hear me say that. Okay, because I believe that I give you guys mostly my opinion. I do believe that I speak facts, but I'd rather you decide for yourself. No, all I can do is come out here and give you guys my opinion. For example, I'm giving you my opinion on loyalty. You know, I'm giving you my opinion on loyalty. I believe that it's true based on my experience. Everybody has their own experience, but at the end of the day, what I just want to do is give you a different outlook, maybe something to look at, or to look at it maybe differently than what you were thinking of it, or we might agree, we might concur, or we might just choose to disagree. But the reality is that I think most of us, if not all of us, that are a part of the movement, we are all like minded individuals seeking to become better and to improve, right? That's what I think. Self has more value than failure. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to tell you guys like this. I've walked out of my house with no money in my pocket, but I have so much confidence and I know who I am that I know that if I go out there and I put my mind on hustling, but I'm not talking like scamming people, I'm talking hustling, right? Like getting money, like making, $1 out of 15 cents. If I put my mind to it, I'm going to come back home with money. But that's because I'm sure of myself. So it's the money isn't the factor, it's who I am is the factor, right? Who I am. So yes, I believe that self has more value than feria. Definitely. Frank, do you think people can be too loyal? No, I don't believe you can be too loyal because I think that, how can I say this? You can be loyal, and if that person or that group that you're loyal to is not loyal to you, that's not on you, that's on them. So I think that if when you're too, like, maybe not, when you sacrifice too much of yourself for other people, that's a problem. But then I don't think that's loyalty anymore. I think that is codependency. Sometimes we confuse sentiments, right? Like, imagine I'm doing everything for someone that I think I love, but I refuse. I don't sleep well, I don't eat well, I sacrifice what I have for that person. If I'm not being loyal to myself first, that's why I said this. You cannot be loyal if you're not first loyal to yourself. If I'm now putting myself at risk and at loss for someone else, I have already forgotten that first principle, which is to be loyal to myself. If you're too loyal, that means that you've forgotten the standards that you have to live up to. That's what I think. Do you think too, Barboso? No, I don't think they're loyal. I think that what they have is they have too much dirt on each other. I think they're both compromised. They cannot separate because of the fear that one of these guys is going to disclose the secrets of the other. That's not loyalty. That is blackmail. And some people confuse blackmail for loyalty. All right. Yeah, that's right. I left my wallet at home on purpose so my son can treat me. Yeah, that's a good. I'm gonna start doing that. Nah, my son's good. My son's, even my daughter. She makes money off her drawings. Like, she's very talented. So when she has money, sometimes she'll treat us. I'll accept shit. Thank you for thinking about me. It's guilt. Yeah, it's guilt. It's guilt. That's right. E. Mateo. Very good. Very good. Then he tells me, "Don't worry, I have your card on." You couldn't con the con artist, E. Mateo. These kids are too smart now. Um, Loyalty is important, and I judge people by, and I'm this is where I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. I judge who is my friend or who I bring into my circle based on how they do what they do. If they have children and they treat them like shit, if they don't do everything that they have to do for their children, if they don't make the sacrifices, if they don't make the changes that they have to make for their children to be good parents, I don't have any. We don't have anything really to talk about. No, we can be cool. We can talk about other things, but you're not going to be in my circle. Because I want people that are like-minded, and like I also said earlier, or that are smarter than me, that can teach me things. That's who I want in my circle. That's right, Katie Frizzle. Hey, you too, Shark City. Have a beautiful afternoon, Shark City girl. God bless you. Take care of yourself out there. Yeah, loyalty also shouldn't be questioned. It shouldn't be questioned, but I think that every now and then it's tested. Loyalty will be tested, and it's not necessarily that you are going to do the test. Life circumstances will test your loyalty. Things will come up, and it's in the face of adversity where loyalty gets tested. It may not be questioned, but it is tested. Loyalty is put to the test constantly, and we just have to be, like I said, if we are true to ourselves, true to our morals, our principles, our standards, We will always make the right decision in the face of adversity. That's right. Likewise, that's right. Shark City girl, nice to see everyone. Email, no phones or Wi-Fi. Shark. Let's see. It says loyalty should not be one-sided, and loyalty should also be bound to respect and responsibility. Yeah, exactly. Now, sometimes it is one-sided. I'll give you an example, right? Like, I think my loyalty to my kids for a long time was one-sided. I know they loved me, right? But I know that now that they're adults, that they can think for themselves, they choose to be loyal to the family, right? Because sometimes you have to choose to be loyal, right? And sometimes even within family, you have to choose to be loyal. You have to choose that you're going to be loyal to your family until, no matter what comes. And I think that those decisions only come when you are of age and when you consider what the possibilities are and you actively decide that no matter what is out there, I'm going to be loyal to this. Because my kids now, they could easily move out. Like, they could easily go live with friends, or have an apartment with friends, or do it on their own. They choose to stay because they like being with us and they feel good with us, and I'm happy about that, right? And I feel that that has to do with their loyalty towards us as their parents. Loyalty will always come from the heart. Yeah, definitely. But you have to be smart about loyalty too. It cannot be strictly emotional. I don't know if that makes sense. Loyalty, you have to be smart when it comes to loyalty. You have to be able to see the signs. Sometimes people play at your heartstrings and they're not being loyal to you, right? So loyalty has to be intelligent. I believe above it all, it has to be intelligent and with a side of emotion. I don't know if that makes sense. Ghost, if it's true loyalty, yeah, that's true. Hey, what's up, Ramiro? What's up, man? My son and I, Sandar's homeboy. Hey, Sandar's to you, my brother. Nice to see you. Thanks so much for supporting me, man. Thanks so much for being here. Yeah, and good to see Ramiro. Everyone, shout out to Ramito, and Roman. Hey, good morning, Firmetube. Hey, nice to see you, man. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for supporting. It makes a lot of sense. I try to make sense, and if I don't make sense, or if you don't agree with something, you guys can put it down and we can talk about it. I'm not going to be on very much longer. If anything, I wanted to just, put my 2 cents out there based on what we're seeing, based on what we see. You know, these guys that we are constantly putting on Front Street, these guys that we're constantly exposing, we can they will never demonstrate true loyalty. Loyalty is not about where someone is, and there's no use to be loyal to someone. Right? They could be loyal to a football club, but I get the feeling they sometimes, yeah. But I think that when we're talking about loyalty, as far as to people, to family, it's not always reciprocal, and that's okay because love sometimes makes us loyal, right? If we expect people to be reciprocal with our love and our time and our loyalty, we may not truly be seeking loyalty. What we may be seeking is a way of having them like tied into us. Let's see what this guy says. Frank Ticas, you little petty criminal stealing women's car. Do you know? Was it a woman? What are you talking about, stupid? See, I don't need to go follow and try to dox someone and where they live to try to get an attaboy from people online, bro. That's what you do. You're the petty criminal. You're the petty stalker. You're a petty little stalker. You're not a man. You're not a woman. You're not an adult. You're just a little bitch. So for you to come in here and try to tell me something, come on, bro. You are a little weird ass stalker that wants an attaboy. Good boy. Good boy. Go get me that video. Good boy. That's who you are. For people online, bro, that will throw you under the bus any chance they get, you're an idiot. That's who you are. That's right. That's right. That's right, Ramiro. I don't think it's worth to stay loyal. It depends, bro. It depends. I am loyal. But I'm loyal because that's who I am. I believe that that is a characteristic of who I am. The people that rock with me, the people that know me, the people that live with me, that have lived and broken bread with me, if there's something that they can say is Frank is loyal and Frank will always be there. And as long as Frank is in the group, he's always going to be there for the group. I would rather have that, and I would rather be looked upon that way than to be looked upon as someone that can't be trusted. Right? That's what I think. Hell yeah, getting ready. All right, cool, man. That's good. That's good. I stay away if I was you. These guys don't know. It's so overcast and well, it's kind of overcast right now, but it's hot over here. I think it'll probably rain later on today, but I'm cool. I'm chilling. It's my day off, so I'm good. Also, if you can't rely on specific persons because they don't keep up to what they say, then I guess you should consider. Yeah, well, yeah, but once again, so yeah, I might not be loyal. Maybe how can I say this? I'm going to continue to be loyal, but I'm not going to go out of my way for people that can't go out of their way for themselves. They have to learn their lessons on their own. Sometimes part of loyalty is, you know what? I'm so loyal to our friendship that you need to go through this experience on your own. I can't bail you out. Sometimes bailing people out is doing a disservice to people. Sometimes people really need to hit rock bottom, straight up. And by letting them hit rock bottom, you're being loyal. I don't know if that makes sense. It's pang pang. That's right. That's right. Full sun in the high desert. Oh, that's man. Hey, Hangman. I love the desert, but I could not live there, bro. So shout out to you, my friend. Shout out to you. Exactly. This doxer coming in talking about a petty criminal. Man, there's nothing more petty than a doxer. What the fuck are you talking about? Fucking idiot. So send me some sun, guys. Okay. Hey, put some suns in the chat, guys, for Helga. Put some sun in the chat for Helga, please. Yeah, there's some sun right there. That's right, Katie. Thank you so much. Put some suns in the comment for Helga. Someone wants to come out. I don't think it's worth to stay loyal was additional to another. Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, I think it's. See, I don't measure loyalty that way, as though it's worth it or not. It's always worth it to me to be loyal. But what I do is I walk away from situations that are no longer healthy for me, that are no longer beneficial to me, and where I cannot do anything in that regards. Like if I've already, put time and effort in the situation, but I don't see it like if any it's causing me more harm than good, or the other person more harm than good, then I'll walk away. But I think that even that is being loyal. Does that make sense? Shine like a diamond. Hey, diamonds don't shine, they reflect. They refract light. That's what they do. That's right. That's right. Katie Frizzle. Live last night, ladies. Yeah, you guys did a great job. Shout out to the ladies of Exposed Tube. Shout out to all of you. Thank you, Mateo. Very good. I think we might get some rain today. I think we're gonna get some. I hope we get some rain because it's hot right now. That's why I'm out here in the yard, just chilling under the shade of my mango tree. All right. I don't know if you guys have any questions for me. I don't know if you guys have anything you want to say, any thoughts that you might have on just loyalty. It's been a good live. Thank you so much for joining me. Those of you guys that have been here, thank you so much. And let me just share this one more time. Add to stage. So loyalty is very expensive. Not everyone can afford it. I believe that not everyone can afford being loyal. No, I don't think everyone can afford the sacrifices and the changes that it requires to be loyal. It is expensive. How hot? I don't know who you're asking. Let me see. It ain't easy, Tikas, but I'm used to it. Yeah, I know, bro. You get used to it. And I know you can get used to it, right? I understand. I'd rather not get used to it. I mean, it gets hot here, bro. I miss some of the cold, but I like the heat, I like the cold, but if it's always hot, then yeah, it'll get me into a certain mood. Let me see what's to say. Loyalty is not expensive. You just have to be. Yeah, but but if you were here from the beginning, what I was saying about loyalty, like if you're loyal to yourself, you got to be loyal to yourself in every aspect. Are you taking care of your body? Are you taking care of your mind? Are you taking care of your spirit? Are you taking care of how you live around you? Are you taking care of your posture? Are you taking care of how you eat? So, a lot of times to be truly loyal to yourself, it does require maybe not expensive as far as like monetary, but expensive as to the things that you need to sacrifice to be upfront, right? Let me see. How hot Frank? Well, I'll tell you right now. Give me a second. So let me go ahead, get that little app. So it's 31 over here. So I guess it's hotter over there. And if we look at it and it's because it's overcast. I don't know how it would be in Fahrenheit. Let me see. Can I get it in Fahrenheit? Settings. Um, in Fahrenheit. Okay, in Fahrenheit it's 87. So it's 87 over here in Fahrenheit, 31 in Celsius. Oh no, I would die. You probably Yeah. Let me see. What's it say? Sometimes you have to go above your own boundaries if needed. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you do, bro. But you have to, as long as you remain at the standards that you've set for yourself. If you can go beyond that, great. But that's what the standards are for, right? So there's always a standard. My circle is extremely small, and more than likely it will say, yeah, there's gotta be. I can count my circle but I'm talking about like here on my end, because if I were to count us all, there's a lot of us that are down with ET. I consider you guys part of my circle now, my online circle. But as far as my circle out here, it is very small. Maybe I can count them on two hands. That's it. Yeah, but yes, I missed the beginning. Yeah, that's okay. Don't worry. It's all good, man. Thank you. Luxury is just an expense. I'd rather have 10 basic toilet rolls than one luxury. Right? It's like I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies. That's right. That's right. It's 100. It's Helga. It's 100. Hunted is 100, but it's 100. 100. It's spoken in a way, but it means 100. Yeah, 100. 100. All right. Hey, well, guys, it's been a pleasure. I really enjoyed being out here with you guys. Thank you guys for supporting me. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to continue to do what I need to do, put out the content that I want to put out there, share as much of my opinions as I can with you guys. Eventually, I want to be able to get 700. 700. Yeah, you learn a lot. Not all of it is wisdom. Some of it is just how we talk. Hey, thanks so much, little white ferret. Thank you, guys, for coming in and sharing your time with me, spending time with me today. Yeah, Shark City Girl, thank you so much. Hey, thank you so much for the knowledge. Hey, thank you, Shark City Girl. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for being a friend. You and I have had a lot of conversations, right? So you know what I'm talking about. I stay loyal. I'm not everyone's cup of coffee. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. But what everyone can say about me is that I will be loyal, right? Thanks, Frank. Hey, thank you. Thank you, guys. Gracias. Hey, much respect to you. Stay safe out there. Thank you, guys. I'm going to try to, I'm working on something. I'll probably put it out there tomorrow. You know how I do my little clippings. So I'm working on something in the background. I wanted to jump in front of the camera today, go live with you guys. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. Bam Bam is going to pull up to. I'm not even going to finish reading how absurd that is. You must not know who Hangman is. You must not know. Have a good day, everyone. Have a good day. Enjoy your day, everybody. Enjoy your day. Stay blessed. Stay safe. Stay dangerous. Ticas, enjoy your lunch with the old lady. Hey, yeah, we'll chat soon, brother. We'll be on the lives tonight. Crease out, crease out. Yeah, that was funny. That great talking boys. Hey, nice to see you, Taco Stain. Shout out to you and your loved ones, Taco, your little girl, your family, everybody's family. Shout out to you guys. Yeah, the troll has no idea what he's talking about. Okay, enjoy your day, guys. With that, I'm going to end the stream. I hope all of you guys have an excellent rest of the day, an excellent weekend. And until next time,